Praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem HaKadosh. Double honors to the elders and apostles, chiefly of Great Millstone. Yahweh is the name of the Heavenly Father. It means He is. Yahweh Shai is the name of His Son. It means He is who saves. HaKadosh is the name of the Holy Spirit in Hebrew. I kind of want to follow a few different channels, this is a Russian channel, just to get a different perspective other than what's in the mainstream media about what's going on in the world. And it feels like there's a quickening, a heating up of worldwide events. The threat of nuclear war, the downfall of the US dollar. It just seems like everything is quickening up until a point. Things are happening faster and faster. The development of properties are happening faster and faster, and it's almost dizzying. It's hard to keep up with where we are. Well, where we are really is we're around Revelation 13, in those areas where they're about to roll out the mark. Let me see if I can get some information on that, Lord willing. Incident at Aden Airport. You can see the very high winds. Reminds me of Matthew 24, Earthquakes in diverse places, massive explosion in Ankara. Lots happening, man. A lot is happening in the world at the moment. We're going to go to the scriptures in a bit. If I don't see anything on the MOTB, we'll go to the scriptures and read Matthew 24. Let's hear it. Let's get it. Let's get the booze out this time. Starting from verse 2. And Yahushua said unto them, See ye not all these things? Verily I say unto you, there shall not be left here one stone upon the other that shall not be thrown down. And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be, and what shall the sign of thy coming and the end of the world? And Yahushua answered and said unto them, Take heed that no man deceive you, for many shall come in my name, saying that I am Christ, and shall deceive many. And the Christ being the anointed, right? I think Greek for Christos is oil. I might be wrong. And ye shall hear wars and rumors of wars. See ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. And these are all the beginning of sorrow. So, like, diverse places meaning, not all in the same place, from one end of the earth to the other. Then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted, Jacob's trouble as in Jeremiah 50, I think, and shall kill you, and ye shall be hated of all the nations for thy name's sake. Let's see if we can get Jeremiah 50. Declare ye among the nations to publish and set up a standard, publish and conceal not. Say Babylon is taken, Bel's confounded, Merodach is broken to pieces, our idols are confounded, Her images are broken in pieces, for out of the north there cometh up a nation against her, which shall make her land desolate, for none shall dwell therein, they shall remove, they shall depart, both man and beast in those days, in that time, saith the Lord. The children of Israel shall come, and the children of Judah together go and weeping, they shall go and seek the Lord their God. They shall ask the way to Zion with their faces to the word, saying, Come and let us join ourselves unto to the Lord in perpetual covenant that shall not be forgotten. My people have been lost sheep; their shepherds have caused them to go astray. And as the priests and the pastors, they have turned uh, them away on the mountains. They have gone from a mountain to a hill. They have forgotten their resting place. All that found them have devoured them, and their adversaries said, We offend not, because they have sinned against the Lord. So this is going back into, I think, Psalms 83 as well, which is talking about how all the other nations other than Israel have turned and said, look, and that's why they're called the accusers, because they're doing this knowing in full knowledge of the scriptures and with knowledge of saying, oh, we allowed to do this to Israel because look how badly they're behaving, and we do behave. Israel is disgusting. We do behave bad. More times I'm embarrassed whenever I see a Jake on TV. I'm like, most time I'm thinking, oh God, what stupid shit is he gonna do now? Remove out of the midst of Babylon and go, out of the midst of Babylon and go. 7. We offend not, because they have sinned against the Lord, the habitation of justice, even the Lord, the hope of their fathers. Remove out of the midst of Babylon and go forth out of the land of the Chaldeans, and be as the he goats before the flocks. And the he goats, they just be chilling by themselves. Because he goats don't, it's the females that kind of hang around in herds. For lo, I will raise and cause to come up against Babylon an assembly of great nations from the north country, and they shall set themselves in array against her. From this could be bricks. From thence shall she be taken. The arrow shall be as the mighty, as an expert man. None shall return in vain. And Chaldea shall be a spoil, and all the spoil of her shall be all that spoil her shall be satisfied, saith the Lord, because ye were glad, because ye rejoiced, O ye destroyers of mine heritage, because ye are grown fat as a heifer at grass, and below as bulls. Your mother shall be sore confounded. She that bare you shall be ashamed. And that is really pertaining to Europe, and the founding, the national ancestry of the U.S. The hintermost nations shall be wilderness, and the dry land of the desert, because the wrath of the Lord, it shall not be inhabited, but it shall be wholly desolate. Everyone that goeth by Babylon shall be astonished and hiss at her plagues. Put yourself in array against Babylon. So this is a little bit later. Where are we at the moment? Is not quite there. Yeah, more Revelation 13, but the coming of the mark of the beast, which I'm just going to get real quick. Keep on reading this, but never gets old. Always relevant. 13:16, and he caused all both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, that no man might buy or sell save he that have the mark, or name the beast, or the number of his name. Here is wisdom, that him that understandeth count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. See what we can find. Civil servants of the Chinese city of Changshu will receive their full salary in the central bank digital currency from May the 23rd, 2023. So they're already receiving, the civil servants of the Chinese are already receiving the pay in CBDCs. Let's see what else there is. Let's see. China is already making strides with the CBDC project, while Brazil has experienced. So the BRICS nations, this new non-homogenic power, they're going to be the people that champion CBDCs. And the Lord is going to get them to overthrow That's in Jeremiah 50. Let's see what we get. Not really. See anything there. Can't see. Meanwhile, AI is just going crazy at the same time. In the latest escapade, Russian pranksters Vovan and Lexus posed as Ukrainian President Zelensky and spoke to Alexander Rothschild, the great-great-great-great-grandson of the founder of the dynasty. Alexander, who led the family of bankers and the Rothschilds co-hosting in 2008, told Zelensky, fake Zelensky, that his empire intends to take part in the restoration of Ukraine in a number of sectors. You can see the Rothschilds are all up in the Ukraine war. Anyway, you can see just the amount of madness that's happening. Looking at the grain, I think it's one of the ports in the Ukraine, which was had this grain deal to sell grain to a lot of the other countries. You know, Ukraine is meant to be the breadbasket of the world. That's been blown up, and Putin's closed the deal, so no, Ukraine can no longer sell grain to that world. So we're looking at, I don't know. This usually takes maybe 1 or 2 months for it to start to get real, for the impact, because they're not really telling you these things as they're happening. Let's get that scripture. Suddenly the store shall be found empty. Let's see if I can find it. Suddenly, store empty. See if I can get that scripture. Oops. Let's see the storehouse. I can't remember the scripture. Find another Bible. let me do a sec. Not sure why I can't find it, but we're looking at Second Ezra's 22. Let's just get it from here. 6 and 22. And suddenly the storehouses shall, the sown places appear unsown, the full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty. Let's get a little bit more context in that. Start from 18. And it said, Behold, the days come that I'll begin to draw nigh and visit them that dwell upon the earth, and begin to make inquisition of them that they what they be that have hurt unjustly with their unrighteousness, and when the affliction of signs shall be fulfilled, and when the world that shall begin to vanish away shall be finished, then I will show these tokens. The book shall be opened before the firmament, and they shall see all together. And this is what's happening right now. The books are being opened, i.e., camps like GMS, really just GMS and a few other camps. I've been able to suddenly break down the scriptures. I remember knowing that the Bible, as I was growing up, knowing the Bible was really sort of special, but not really be understanding it. It was just weird collection of stories, and it's now just completely clear to me. And suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown, and the full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty. And that's what's going to happen, because they're not telling us that the grain deals collapsed. They're not telling us of the implications of that on food prices and being able to acquire food and grain and flour and basic necessities. At that time shall friends, this is talking about Jacob's trouble, this is where we are. At that time friends shall fight one another against another like enemies, and the earth shall stand in fear with those that dwell therein. The springs of the fountain shall stand still, and in 3 hours they shall not run. And this is what I'm talking. There'll be no water, there's going to be no food. Do you know what I mean? People are going to start fighting. That's why right now, keeping to myself. You know what I mean? What's that like? The Central C says Home Alone, like Macaulay Culkin, man. I don't really. You won't catch me on the street really. Unless I'm going out to buy something. I'm either training, I'm working out, or I'm studying. I'm in my house, or you know what I mean. I'm just doing some things with my family. I'm not really out there like that. Whosoever remaineth from all these things, these that I have told thee shall escape, and shall see my salvation and the end of your world. And the men that I've received shall see it, who have not tasted death from their birth. And the heart of the inhabitants shall be changed and turned into another meaning. For evil shall be put out, and deceit shall be quenched. So at the end of the day, what's going to happen is this is going to come through. People are going to get more and more wicked, and they're finally going to get stamped out. This is the harvest that they're talking about, that Yahushua has been talking about. Anyway, I'm going to shut off there. Shalom.